What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade Real Housewives of Orange County, season 15, episode 8 review. This is my second video for Vlogmas. Remember, my schedule for the month of December will be Mondays, nostalgic tea story videos. My first one is up right now. I did a nostalgic tea story on the Mary Jane girls, so make sure you check that video out. On Tuesdays will be my top 10 videos, my top 10 albums, movies, television shows, or books of 2020. On Wednesdays, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Orange County reviews. Thursdays, Braxton Family Values reviews. Fridays, behind the scenes tea videos. Saturday, Spill the Tea videos. Sunday, Power reviews, as well as Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews. It is going to be popping over here this month for Vlogmas. So I have some behind the scenes tea for you guys before we begin. So today it hit the news that Bronwyn has officially come out as being a lesbian. She is excited to live in her truth finally. I'm happy for Bronwyn. I think that it's time that she's coming into herself and realizing and figuring out who she is as a woman, especially after tonight's episode. We learned so much more about her past. So shout out to Bronwyn. We're coming into herself. I guess next season will be the downfall of her marriage, her coming into herself and her new life. I can't wait to see how this will affect her children. So Bronwyn gonna have a lit storyline next season. But I will say that I am disappointed that so far this season has been about only Bronwyn's, alcoholism problem. Like, I want something else to be going on. Like, the mid-season trailer just aired. It looks like things are going to heat up a little bit, but I need some more this season. You can tell that Tamra and Vicky not being there might have been a bad decision on Andy Cohen's part. But anywho, so on tonight's episode, the girls are still in Palm Springs after Bronwyn's wedding. Kelly, Bronwyn, and Elizabeth go to this historical house or whatever. Gina, Emily, and Shannon go on a hike together, and they all talk about Elizabeth. Apparently, she got drunk and sent her ex-husband a text saying that she regrets the divorce, even though she's been separated from him for 6 years. So Emily, in her confessional, say, I've been knowing Elizabeth for a while. I thought she was a cool girl, but the Elizabeth I'm seeing now is emotional and doesn't make sense. Gina says to them, she said they met and she was a jazz singer and had no money. He came in and he wooed her. Shannon says he asked her to marry him and she found out he was married. They show a flashback where Elizabeth tells the lady that he was going through a divorce when they met, aka he was still married. Bitch, what the fuck is you talking about? So Shannon says, she said they were together 20 years, but I thought they were only married for 5 years. Emily was like, then I don't understand her relationship with gay Jimmy. Because if she's crying over this guy and sending him text messages and they're communicating, like, what in the hell is going on? And I agree, like, this whole storyline where Elizabeth is just going around and around in the mulberry bush. She's saying that she can't talk about certain things, but that's all that she talks about. Her and gay Jimmy storyline seems like it's fake. Seems like she hired this nigga to be her boyfriend on the show. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand Elizabeth's storyline either. So far, to me, she has been dull. Nonetheless, everything is materialistic with her. Like, she was a horrible casting. I'm sorry. She has brought nothing to this show. She's a horribly casted person. I don't know why Andy decided to go with her, but I don't like it. This needs to be a one and done season for her. So Kelly says to Elizabeth, Emily and Gina think that you're not telling the whole story about your situation. Elizabeth says, I'm not allowed to say what I really want to say. In her confessional, she says the gag order doesn't let me mention what I'm receiving from the divorce or what's going on with the divorce. But that's a lie, because last week, it was revealed that Elizabeth Vargas receives $31,000 a month in spousal support. Like, this story came out last week, literally in the press. So who talking? Who's talking? Like, you always want to say that you can't talk about shit, but your business steady is hitting the blogs and this television show. So what is it? Because you don't have a storyline that you feel like that's the only thing you can talk about? Is your divorce? Like, I don't get this lady. I don't like it. So Gina brings up her that Elizabeth buying this for Ferrari to make her ex-husband mad. Then said she was gonna donate it. She was like, if you just gonna donate something to charity, how about just giving them money? Like, the fuck is you talking about? So they say that she always talking about money, even though she says she doesn't care about it, which obviously does. Like, her whole existence is based around this money that she came into via marrying her ex-husband. So Kelly and Bronwyn even tell her to stop talking about money so much because that's all she fucking do. And Kelly was like, I don't know how Jimmy puts up with it. And Bronwyn was like, if you talk about it as to him as much as you do us, like, girl. And Elizabeth says, I do. He's tired. He's tried to leave me several times. I'm like, don't leave me. I need support. At least you guys told me what you felt because I need true friends. But my thing is, because on last week's episode, she was talking about how her girlfriends everything was all good when she was taking them on trips and buying them stuff and paying for everything. But as soon as she went through the divorce, everybody went away. I think that probably was very much true. But I also think that Elizabeth's problem is everything is very surface level with her. Like, everything is materialistic. Like, you bought them bitches. You bought their friendship. So what do you expect that you was going to get from people that you felt like you had to buy? Boy, you better start looking in that oven before you turn it on. You gonna burn up my house one day. It's my fault. Kyrie's about to get beat down on his camera. Whew, he left shit in my oven. I'm gonna punch this little nigga in the throat. Anywho. But like I was saying, Elizabeth is very surface level with her. Everything is materialistic. And like I said, she bought these women. So what did you really expect from them? It wasn't genuine, and it wasn't a genuine friendship from the beginning. And you begging this nigga to be with you, like, you just come across very pathetic, very insecure. It's obvious that he's using you too for whatever he can get out of you. He sees a very emotionally disturbed, low self-esteem having woman, and he's milking it for everything that he has, and he don't even have to fuck you to do it. Girl, gay Jimmy, do it, bitch. So Gina says, she's uncomfortable in her own skin, and Bronwyn is just broken. Gina says that Bronwyn has her heart now, and that if Elizabeth starts making some sense to her and start being more truthful, that they too can become friends. Elizabeth says to Kelly and Bronwyn, Shannon went off on Jimmy last night. She was saying, I don't like how you're talking to me and this and that. And she was like, I don't know what he did. And Kelly says, I think it's alcohol. And Bronwyn in her confessional say, I see a lot of problems with Shannon. And I mean, we've seen problems with Shannon since season 1. Shannon don't think that she got a drinking problem, but Shannon very much has a drinking problem. Shannon is a sloppy drunk. She's an angry drunk, and she does too much. And yeah, she needs to cut back as well. She needs to be going to AA with Bronwyn as. So Bronwyn goes to therapy, and she tells the therapist that she's been with Sean since he was 18 years old. They have 7 children. She's always been anxious her whole life, and I think that plays into her relationship with her mama and her mama never being there for her. She said drinking helped her with her anxiousness, and by the time she was a freshman in high school, she was already drinking heavily. She says after her 30th birthday, though, is when it really got bad. She had a miscarriage and started to take Xanax and drink alcohol. And she said that she went on this 5-day thing where she binged in a closet for 5 days. She didn't come out of a closet for 5 days. She binge drank, and she doesn't even remember the 5 days or whatever. And she admitted that she was admitted to a psych ward, and that Sean has been managing her since she was 18 years old. She says they're very codependent. Their whole relationship is just not healthy. I think that based on what she just told us in tonight's episode, it's not a surprise that she's just not coming out as a lesbian, because she's been in this fog of alcoholism her entire life. I think that she's been masking the hurt that she went through with her mother not being there for her as a child. Basically, her growing up a motherless child. And she used drinking to numb that pain. Sean came in and was like a savior to her. I think that they both needed each other for whatever reason. I think Sean dealing with some identity crisis things. Like, I don't think Sean knows himself. I think Sean is gay as a goddamn Gay Jimmy. I think they're both fucking homosexual. I think they both need to separate so they can learn how to depend on themselves. I think that it was very unhealthy that he enabled her drinking for so long. I'm happy that she is sober. I hope that she continues to work on herself. I know we're going to find out later on in this season that she's in love with one of her best friends' child. I just pray that they both get healthy, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that. But it's like I said, no wonder that Bronwyn doesn't know herself because she's been in an alcoholic fog since she was a teenager. So the therapist says, what are you going to do now to manage the anxiety? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, bitch, you better start taking up knitting or something. You better figure it out. So Shannon goes to her oldest daughter, Sophie, dress shopping for her debutante ball. I've always wanted to go to a debutante ball. I just love it. Bronwyn takes her son, Jacob, to go buy makeup, which I love the fact that once again, she's very supportive of her son. Bronwyn says, I don't think I would have been so secure to be myself when I was your age. And in her confessional, she says, I have never authentically been myself. And that's obvious because she doesn't know who she is. Like she's just now figuring out who she is as a person. And that's sad, but it's also wonderful because at least she's finally, coming to the light and finally doing it. So Elizabeth is trying to lose weight, child. She's already lost 30 pounds and says that she's stressed out because she had to spend $2 million on a lawyer for this damn divorce. After seeing her new trainer, she calls her mama and tells her mother that the girls think that she's annoying for talking about her divorce all the time. And Elizabeth says, but I have to listen to their shit all day and they're saying my story doesn't add up. But I'm like, they're all being authentic. You're not being 100% true, and you are annoying. Because that's the only thing you talk about. Is your money? Is this divorce? Like, they don't know shit else about you. So Elizabeth says, this is why I don't get to know women. And I was like, this ain't got shit to do with that girl, but okay. So Gina tells Emily that Shannon is afraid of getting the coronavirus. And if you saw the mid-season trailer, Shannon and I think her man are going to get the coronavirus. Bronwyn's relative at the wedding actually hugged Shannon, and that relative had been around another relative who had been around people with COVID. So I don't know if that's how Shannon ended up catching it, but so Shannon is scared because she has lung issues or whatever. She calls Kelly for what reason, I don't know, worried about the coronavirus. And Kelly says that people are blowing out of proportion. She was one of the no masker people saying that it ain't real and this and that, just a fucking idiot. So Gina, and then meanwhile, her mama now got COVID, I believe. So Gina tells her mama that she's afraid to give her account of what happened between her and her ex-husband Matt that night when he allegedly abused her, because she doesn't want him to be mad. I'm sick of her and her shit as well. If this nigga really did put his hands on you, fuck him being mad, bitch. The fuck? Grow the fuck up. So Bronwyn tells her family that she's afraid of relapsing during, this quarantine or whatever, because she will not have anything to do. She won't be able to go to AA meetings. And I really am scared for her, because quarantine has fucked up a lot of folks' lives, this year. So a lot of marriages have fallen apart. It's just been a fucked up year. I'm so happy 2020 is coming to an end and we got 2021 coming in too. But I can honestly say though, and I'm not, because I've been learning to count my blessings, and just, I'm so sad that a lot of other people have gone through really tough times this year, but I can honestly say God has really kept me and blessed me this year. So I just have to take the moment and continue to thank him, because it could have been worse for me, like it has been for others. And, but God has really kept me and my close ones and my loved ones. So thank you, God, for that. I pray for anybody else who has been affected by COVID, who has not been able to work or provide for themselves or their family, who have had to deal with COVID or lost loved ones because of COVID. My heart goes out to you, and I will keep you all in my prayers. So yeah, that's my review of Real Housewives of Orange County. I give tonight's episode overall a D-. It was all right. This season just ain't been really giving it to me. They need Tamara back. I'm sorry. They need Tamara back. They need Vicky back. They just are the heart and soul of this show. Even though I don't like Tamara, I can't stand Tamara. Tamara is the antagonist. She keeps it popping. And Vicky, I love Vicky. I know a lot of people don't like Vicky, but I love Vicky. I love her. Andy, make that phone call. You need them old hoes back. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.